Hey, and welcome back to another video. Haven't had the camera on me in over 24 hours, but I thought I'd better turn it on. I just got to Holiday here. I gotta check my diesel because we've been having some really cold weather again in Minnesota. Not super cold. It hasn't went below zero yet. Well, the feels like temperature did. The feels like got down to 7 below last night, but when I seen it, could have been lower. I don't know. But right now we're at 15 degrees, and it's supposed to get down to 1 degree overnight tonight, and then our lows are going to be 16, 5, 10, 25, 15, and then -1 on Saturday. And today is Sunday. So yeah, so we got some cold weather coming. I was really liking it when we had the warm weather, the 33 degrees and stuff, the 20s and 30s. That was nice warm weather. It was, believe me, it was. May not sound like it, but when you compare it to the below zero stuff, yeah, it's nice warm weather. And being a bigger guy, we run hotter, so that kind of weather is kind of comfortable. I was talking to one of my friends who's a big guy too about how I could relate with him, because like when it's like, you know, when it gets into the 40s or 50s or something, I've had friends that are still bundled up, but like especially when fall's on its way from summer to fall, and it gets into the 50s or something like that, or 40s, I could still be outside with a t-shirt and stuff because I'm bigger. I run hotter with that, and they're all bundled up dang near with winter gear. And they're like, "You ain't cold?" I'm like, "No, I'm not cold." Now, if I were to stay outside for a super long time, I would start getting cold, you know. But anyway, yeah. So that cold weather's been making me burn some more diesel. I'm here to Holiday to do my diesel, and I know I've mentioned it before in the videos, but inside Holiday they got a nice little countertop in there with 3 chairs, you know, for, I don't know if it's for people that are doing scratch offs or people that like buy a sandwich or lunch or something and want to sit down or whatever. So, and I know I get along with all the employees and all of the locals around here. So I've done some filming around here, plus I sat in there to edit. And that's what I'm going to do tonight, is I'm going to sit in there and edit. I can't remember, I want to say I've got like at least 12 more videos to edit. And then when I go to the library tomorrow, I'll have like 30 videos or so to upload. I don't know. And there's a couple I'm going to release sooner. They'll come out before this video. And I really didn't know if any good discussion was going to come out of me today, or not discussion, but story. I did feel like I should turn the camera on though, because I haven't had it on me and over a day, and I want to try to keep it on me at least as much as I can, so I stay used to it. Because I'm still, even though I'm getting more comfortable on camera, I'm still getting used to being on camera. I guess maybe it's kind of like when you ride a bike, or maybe a motorcycle or a bike or something, and you haven't rid all year or something, or a couple of years or something, then you get on it again and you're got that little bit of nervousness until you start rolling again, and then it all comes back to you. That's kind of what it's like putting yourself on camera if you're not comfortable with it. That's why I'm looking away from the camera. I can't look at you right now. I'm uncomfortable. I'm being silly now. Oh boy. And I don't know about your state or where you're at, but in Minnesota and Wisconsin, in our surrounding perimeter, a lot of people have been getting this new flu bug. And I did some research on online, a little bit of research, not a whole lot, but they talked about it being like a sub K or something like that strain or something, and got a little bit different symptoms. And I guess, or normally the normal influenza, I guess, you know, it hits you, you get over it in a couple days or that. this can apparently hit you if you got this sub-K stuff. It can hit you. You get kind of drained or whatever, different symptoms, and then you start feeling better, thinking you're fine. People go back to work or start doing stuff, and then it really socks them. And I guess it can last you like 12 days or something. And they said rest is good for it, for your body. I forget what else they said. And they said different symptoms and stuff. So I have been feeling pretty wiped out. So I don't know if I got it a little bit. And because I had a few of the symptoms, but so far I'm doing pretty good. I might have I don't know if I've ran a fever or not either. I thought maybe today when I was laying around for a while, because I just got up and motivated a little bit ago. I've been pretty much relaxing all day, and it's already almost 4 o'clock. Because once I seen that rest was one of the good combatants against it, so your immune system can have the strength or whatever, so you're not burning out your energy or something. I don't know how. But so I started resting around because of having some of the symptoms, and I don't want to get socked with the heavy part of it for multiple days. Well, yuck. So I'm hoping it doesn't hit me too hard if I do got it, because I have been having some muscle soreness too a little bit. But I'm pretty tough, and I didn't even really notice that I could have those symptoms, because even though I was having muscle aches and stuff, I'm getting older, and I've always been pretty tough. So I just figured, well, I must have pulled something doing this or moving that or lifting this or that, So I just figure I've gotten used to in my life. I've had so many pains and stuff, that, and plus being in boxing for a lot of years, and in martial arts, and and I've broken a lot of bones through the years too. I think the first one I broke, well, if I want to go way back in time, my first heavy hit was the day I was born. The day I was born in 1968. They left my side rail down in the hospital, figuring I was a newborn baby and I wasn't going to be going anywhere. Well, I rolled myself right out of bed and onto the floor of the hospital. And my parents, I think they settled out of court for that or something back then in 68. I think the hospital probably offered them, a couple $1,000 or something. And that was my first head injury. Maybe that explains why I can be such a goofball. Because since then I have fractured my skull about at least 14 times, I think, in my life or something. I don't know. Nothing too major, but I've had some doozies. But I haven't had to have no reconstruction or nothing like that, Yeah, I've broken, other than fracturing my skull, I've broken my collarbone, my pinky, my leg, my tibia and fibia or whatever. I twisted my foot all the way around when I was in 6th grade then or what, but wiped out on my bicycle, and as it was going down I put my foot on the ground. My bike went around in a circle, my foot stayed in place, so it just twisted my foot right around and broke my tibia in the back. I think the tibia is the skinnier bone, down by my ankle, and then my fibia, if that's correct, the bigger bone on your shin, that in the x-ray was broke up top just below my knee, and it looked like a corkscrew in the break, so you could see how it corkscrewed and twisted so that was a tough break. And I broke I think it was, oh my gosh, was it my left foot again? I broke my ankle one time too, and I was off my feet for 8 months, almost a year. They said they wanted to do a surgery and put pins in it and stuff, and I've never, I just figure if you cut your body open, unless it's necessary, that you're just prone to more infections or something possibly. So I asked them, I was like, so you're saying I have to have surgery and have pins in? They're like, well, no, if you don't, it'll take a lot longer to heal. And I'm like, well, it was I don't know, it was 6-8 weeks or something with the pins and screws and stuff and surgery. Otherwise it was the 8 months or so or more with it doing it naturally. I was like, well, I'll skip the surgery. So unless you're saying I have to have surgery, if there's something, if it would have cut, like, a blood vessel or a vein or something, in the bone cut vein or something, where I had internal bleeding in my leg or something, well, then I could see, doing surgery. But no, so I healed on my own, and I couldn't drive or walk normal for a while. I'm trying to think what else I broke. I don't know. I've broken. Oh yeah, I broke my wrist too before. Let's see. It was this wrist I broke. Man, everything's been pretty much on my left side. What the heck's up with that? I'm a lefty too. Well, I was a lefty till I got into martial arts. Then I learned to become ambidextrous. Quite a bit. Now, if I were to box, like if I'm doing boxing, I'm automatically a southpaw. It's just natural for me because that's what I trained as. But then once I got martial arts, then I started learning how to be ambidextrous. But I think because of the years of boxing, I think I steered probably a little more towards the southpaw. I'm sharing weaknesses with future combatants. I ain't worried about it. I do okay. Probably, I might be spinning a web. Oh, I'm just teasing. Oh, it's amazing. I'm amazing myself here a little bit. I turn on the camera not knowing what the heck I'm going to talk about, and away it just goes. Well, hope this has been a little bit entertaining for you. I got to get out and check my diesel, get it topped off for another cold night. Gonna do some editing, and I keep praying to God and talking to Him every day that the good stuff's coming, that it's right around the corner, because I know it will eventually. There's a reason for it all. I know that I ain't just going through this struggle, this chapter of my life for nothing. There's a reason for it. And down the road, I'll be able to kind of see it all. Maybe not all of it, but I'll understand it more. It's what's happened through my life so far. I guess if I look at my brick story that I talked about in one of my first few videos, just was an amazing part of my life with God. I mean, a lot of stuff. God's just been so amazing in my life. And He's just really spoken to me throughout it, like, literally. In so many different ways. But I think when I look at today, when I look back at the brick story, for everything I've been going through this time, what happened to me back then when I was challenging God? Because I was mad and frustrated. I wasn't mad at Him, I was just mad at my life or something. But when I look back at that brick story, that night I knew I would never ever doubt God's existence again. I mean, I made a deal and He done swapped me good. And I was serious too, but I really needed that from Him then, I mean, I needed to know that He was there, and He showed me. So I cried like a baby and told Him that I would never, ever, ever doubt Him again, and I apologized so much. So I think that day in my 20s when that happened, I think that's part of what I can reflect back on today for the tough things I've gone through, because I've went through a lot of different tough things. And this time is probably one of the toughest, but it's easy for us to say that when we're living the moment, then it seems the toughest, because once you're out of it, then you'll judge each tough thing differently, But when you're living it, it seems like the toughest. Most of the time, not always. But for everything I'm going through this time, which has really been my gosh, these last 4 years have just been brutal. But not all brutal. I've had a bazillion blessings in the process. A lot of wonderful things have happened during this 4 years of whatever transition or path I'm going on or whatever, that God has really gotten more in tune with me, or I've gotten more in tune with God. I don't know how I should say it that way, probably. Sorry, Lord. Okay, we got clouds, no lightning bolts around. He knows I'm playing. But, there's a seriousness to that, too. But because of being able to look back at when that happened to me, I'm able to remember how I felt in that moment, that I know He was letting me know that Don't you ever doubt me, boy. You know. So, though I'm human, I still have some stresses and struggles with timing, I think it is. Because when it's really stressful, it's like, gosh, I just wish this was over, or I was through this tough part. But I don't doubt God's existence. So I know there's a reason for it. He's got a reason. I don't know what it is, but today I can look back at the brick story and know that that brick story was there to help me through other stages in my life, and this being one of them, to let me know that, to always remind me God is real. Very, very real. And He's got a reason for everything that's happening in my life. You know, I can't wait to find out what it is. Like, well, today's the 22nd. Okay, I won't be too pushy, Lord, but could we find out by the 23rd? No. Come on, I'm giving you 8 hours at least. Oh, I love it. I know the Lord knows I'm joking around. I mean, there's a seriousness to that too. I wish it would happen really quick. But that's what it is, you know. So, but I better get busy, get some stuff done. Once again, God bless you. Thumbs up if you would. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of it. I hope I made you smile or laugh, and we'll see you on the next one.